What's up, Kansas City? I'm Eddie Moore, and I'm here with special guest Dominique Sanders, one of the busiest bass players in Kansas City that I know. I'm all over the scene, a great jazz musician and hip-hop producer and a lot of other things. So, Dominique, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get started in music?
For me, music was something that everybody always listened to music, so I like kind of grew up listening to music. My dad listened to music, but it was kind of weird. I just did it almost just to do it, just because.
Okay.
You know, so.
I know you play bass, but I'm not quite sure if that was your first instrument. How'd that come into?
Yeah, my first instrument was piano. We had a piano, like a Casio piano at my house, and I just played around on it. I was like really on the drum pads. Just
you have the light up keys and everything?
Exactly. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to like make different beats on that.
Right.
Then I just started messing around with it. But yeah, that piano I guess would technically be my first instrument, and then bass guitar.
Okay.
And then moved on to upright bass.
When did I mean, we know each other pretty well. When did you start getting into upright? And then did you start jazz as an upright bassist or?
No. Actually, I started really getting serious in the upright bass when I moved to Kansas City here in Liberty, Missouri. So, I mean, I always did music before, but until I was there, it didn't really start getting serious. Okay. They have a really good, fantastic orchestra program there. So I started doing orchestra. Then I figured out like reading music was real easy for me. So
okay,
that helps. Like
right.
Learning how to read it, and then it was easy for me.
Okay, where'd you move? Tell the people where you moved from.
I moved from Los Angeles, California, and to Liberty, Missouri. Graduated from Liberty, Missouri in 2008. So that was like a good, really really cool thing. I'm thankful for Liberty school programs because they did a great job as far as like setting you up to be able to have the skills you need as far as music goes. Yeah.
Definitely. I've been I guess being a musician not from Kansas City, I've been seeing a lot of kids coming out from Liberty. We play in a lot of different bands as well. And of course the reggae band that we play in, I guess mainly a Liberty crew. So.
Yeah. So there's a lot of kids in general that live there.
Okay. I know you've been busy, man. What have you been doing? Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing this year. Let's start with the last 6 months.
The last
maybe that.
Okay, let's see. It's all a blur. The last 6 months, man, like as far as music goes, like really just a little bit of everything. Obviously, when I'm here in KC, continually playing whatever kind of music, a lot of jazz, a lot of rock, always doing hip hop. On the production side, doing a lot of stuff in and out of New York.
Hold up, did you say jazz, rock, and hip hop?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I had a Afrobeat rehearsal. Then I did like a classic rock / sort of country thing, and then I had a jazz gig at the Majestic. So to me that's like a normal day. But I mean, because I didn't really, I guess, grow up with any kind of prejudged notions on music, that reflects, I guess, in me. Is just kind of whatever. If it's good, I'll do it. Right. And that the past 6 months, that's kind of been what it is. Like just kind of involving myself in as much different kind of things as possible. If you do that, people are always looking for good musicians in whatever music. So. Is
the time split equally, or do you find yourself playing one genre more than the other?
It varies on where I'm at. Like if I'm here, I'm playing jazz. I mean, as far as instrumental music goes, like I'm playing jazz and or like party shows. Like I play a lot with this band here in Kansas City, Hearts of Darkness, which is hip hop, Afrobeat, funk.
Right.
So
if you're from KC and you're familiar with Kansas City, we all know Hearts of Darkness, really killing band.
Yeah. So like I play with them a lot. That's all cross genre, but I mean, like anything, you can see me pretty like anywhere. You never know where I'll be at.
Awesome. So that brings us to the new project. I know you've been rocking out really hard with the Dominique Sanders trio.
Yeah.
I haven't heard much of the project. Is it a combination of the trio, or are you doing a lot of other stuff? I know you said you're doing rock, hip hop, and jazz as well. So tell us a little bit about that.
Right now the project is complete. Finally, after like a long process of doing that, but the project it does consist. The other two members of my trio are Andrew Ouellette and then Ryan Lee. They're on it on that project, and it consists of them, but. From Kansas City all the way to New York and then even LA musicians are on there. So there's, I mean, the credits are I mean, it took a team of people to like literally sit down and make sure you're talking about over like 15, 20 musicians. A few from here in KC, but a lot from all around.
All over?
Yeah, so a lot of traveling. Traveling sessions and doing things like that.
Who are you working with around the country that might appear on the album?
One guy that's really doing a lot of great things is the Harold O'Neal, and we and him just like some real nice things on that. And his album just came out, or will be coming out very soon. The second one.
He's working with Dame and Dash, right?
Yeah. So I got to go out there. Like was hanging with Dame for a minute,
and for those who don't know, Harold is a Kansas City musician, pianist, graduated from Paseo. So Kansas City musicians are all over the world, I'd say.
Yeah.
Who else around the country?
Like multiple people, man. New York, that Harold is one of those guys that kind of definitely stuck out. Here in KC, legends Bobby Watsky. Actually Bobby, and then still sort of unconfirmed, so I can give a hint. But if you think of two legends, so that came out with, I'll just give a hint. Like they came out with Bobby came out in I think 2012 with the Gates Barbecue Suite, and another artist from Kansas City came out with the Gates mixtape. So those two artists on the same track together. It's gonna be crazy.
Give that one away.
Yeah, you figure it out. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You figure it out.
Right.
Waiting for some papers to clear for that, but artists from that I know from LA, Royce Brewster. I mean, people.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I mean, all the way from engineers to whoever. You know, like I try to make it just all the way across people that I know.
So what is the for those who haven't, and I haven't heard it yet, but for those who are going to listen to the album, how would you explain the music that you're writing? And the vibe of the album, maybe the tunes, and how you kind of putting it together. What's the album? Title?
The album is the title of the album is A True Story Based On, and it's actually going to be, the premise of the album is it's a storyline. So basically, it'll start off with this scene that happens drastically, like not music, but just like starts off with the scene, and then every song correlates to this storyline that ends with the ending, like a definitive ending to the story. So I mean, like one of the guys that really did something like that, that recently that took note, and I feel like probably the best one of those albums is Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
If people have listened to Good Kid, Mad City, it's a story, it's got good songs, but I mean it's definitively telling a very deep story. So that's what it'd be like, the kind of the story of my life, because a lot of people, they see me in the club, like jazz clubs or whatever clubs, but they don't know necessarily everything that goes behind that. So it'll be a pretty definitive story on different things that have occurred and are occurring. So something different.
Definitely. That's really cool.
Yeah,
really cool. Looking forward to that, man.
Yeah. And I mean, like it's gonna, a lot of people are not gonna necessarily know how to take it, because you'll put on a track and you'll have Danny Embry and like Danny Embry and Matt Hopper, and then turn the track, and then we're going right to the club. So that's that's what I do. Like I go from Green Lady Lounge to the club, like in any given night. So that's kind of what the premise of the album is going to be. But it'll be for everybody, a true album for everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so that brings me to our next topic. I mean, so that you're now that you're, you said that you're traveling and everything.
Yeah.
How do you when you come back home, how do you feel about the music, or compared to wherever we're going or wherever you're going? and playing with different people. I know you just came back from New York
Yeah.
from like a 2-week residency or something.
Yeah, I was there for about 2 weeks.
Okay, and now that you're back home, how do you feel about, or when you're here, how's the vibe of Kansas City? How's the vibe of the music that you feel?
It's great, man. Like, I mean, every scene pretty much is especially jazz. It's like, you know, it's a good thing to be able to travel a lot and then always come back to Kansas City and still be on a high level of musicianship. You know, it's cool. Like, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on here in the city. You know, my main thing that I'm working on this year is the only thing I think is missing really from the city is we need to incorporate other artists into the scene just so they know what's going on. So through the weeks of May 19th through the May 31st, I'll be bringing my first artist in, Tavon Pennicott, so saxophone player from New York, 26 years old, 2 Grammys already, just destroying the game. You know what I mean? Destroying the game. So like doing more things like that and just really taking the initiative. You know, like, you know, just taking the initiative on setting that stuff up.
Okay. You know, are y'all traveling anywhere when you?
We're just gonna be here. We'll be here in Kansas City. He hasn't been to Kansas City, so you know, we played up in New York, and he was like, you know, what's up, man? I was like, look, come to KC, and we'll do some stuff in KC, and then, you know, back and forth, vice versa. But you know, once people find out, it's just a matter, you know, people really knowing to gain that respect.
Right.
You know?
Right. And I mean, you didn't bring me here, but a lot of people don't know that you were the first person that I met.
Yeah.
And when I came here, we met in the audition at UMKC.
Right.
And just visiting, man, just so welcoming. And remember you dropped me off at the Blue Room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was worried about not having a ride back. Yeah. But that was kind of the deciding factor on here or New York.
Right.
And so just seeing a young audience in Kansas City, I mean, at the Blue Room at that time, I'd never seen so many horn players, and it was a good thing. And then I know we've been in contact recording projects.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in Houston, it's kind of like you were doing that and about that. So that's good to see that a Kansas City musician is thinking that way.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you about bringing people into hiding the scene. It's a great scene that I think we have here. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, like, it's right up there on that cusp of greatness, you know, and it just takes that extra little step of, you know, I mean, yeah, you're gonna spend some money or whatever to bring somebody in, but, you know, bringing in all these people are our age that are making a lot of money and a lot of huge moves in this music, you know, so just making that extra step in. Once people come here, they'll know. That's how I feel, you know, like, so.
And just real quick, before we go, if you could just tell the people, a little bit about the collabs and albums. I know you said this will be your first project.
Yeah.
But I don't think people are realizing how many projects you have a hand in.
Yeah.
Maybe in the last couple of months. I know it's a long list.
Yeah. It's hard to like even think about. Yeah. I mean, I know we just did an album with a Italian pianist and composer Roberto Maurice, which is like out of this world. It's fantastic, fantastic. He's back in Italy now, but that'll be coming out very soon.
And that one was with Kansas, Brian Seaver as well.
Brian was on that. Brian was the other Kansas City guy on that, and that was great. Okay. I mean,
I think we both did a project with Bobby.
Yeah,
and
Bobby.
then you're on our project, right?
I mean, I've just recorded with this group, Blue Rocket Symphony, which is a grunge South rock or whatever. And I mean, you know, like it was cool, like kind of just helping them. A good friend, Kimmy the Phantom, just helped produce. Like his album is fantastic, very great, very great album. Very great album. All the strength. I mean, like, you know, like. So it just goes. Like the list, you know, the list. I mean, it's hard to like think about that. I'm not the like list kind of guy. Okay. I just kind of do it. And
definitely
have fun.
If you want to keep up with Dominique, tell us where we can do that.
Yeah, you can check my website out. It's www.dominiquemusic.com. You can find me on Facebook. Just type in Dominique S. It'll come up. I'll be doing some kind of pose with my bass. I try to keep it that way because that way you can know. Or you can email me at Dominique. It's DOMINIQUE Dominique.Sanders, Sanders, 75 at yahoo.com.
And we also have more videos to check out at What's Up KC or Kansas City. And my name's Eddie Moore, pianist in the city. We play together all the time, and you're sitting here with Dominique Sanders,
Yeah.
prominent bass player in the scene, and as you can tell, all over, just more than jazz, but rock, hip hop, any genre. We're not thinking genres anymore, I guess.
No, I mean that's a long time ago.
Right.
Man. Like, it's music.
Right.
You know.
What's up, Kansas City? We are Cascade Media Group.
CMG is calling all small businesses, organizations, solicitors of products or services that would like to reach their KC Metro viewers and would like our help.
We produce commercials, promote, advertise, and film events. Not to mention display company banners, including a link to your website on either of our sites.
That's whatsupkansascity.net, the premier outlet for Kansas City.
Or CascadeSports.tv, home of the student athletes.
If you're interested, contact CMG at 816-389-0259.
Or email us at mgcascademediagroup@hotmail.com.
And remember,
It pays to advertise.